Where is my land? 722 acres of stolen land. For over 70 years, Big Oil has been drilling its resources with little to no compensation to the family. The story of Elmer Washington. Big Oil stalls the generational wealth of a black family. A black family mistreated by the system. In the early 1900s, a black family led by Elmer Washington acquired 722 acres of land in Claiborne Parish, Louisiana. However, this land was not just any land. It possessed valuable oil reserves beneath its surface. Over the course of several decades, major oil companies have drilled and extracted this valuable resource without considering the interest of the family or offering compensation for illegally exploiting their property. The Washington family, whose wealth has been significantly affected, has fallen victim to a system that allows black individuals to have their land rights violated through secretive agreements between the city, state, and the oil companies, all of whom are profiting while overseeing an ongoing legal quandary regarding the family's property. The oil companies generate millions of dollars in profit from the land's natural resources, while only providing the Washington family and its descendants with minimal compensation, despite the vast amounts accumulated over the past 70 years. Descendant of Elmer Washington, David Vaughn.
This is the story of a black family living in northern Louisiana called Friendship Community. The land was owned by blacks since the Civil War. The land was called Cotton Valley, which is known for previous slaves there. It was rich in minerals and red dirt. The red dirt is something my grandmother chose to place in her mouth, and we've learned it to be known as snuff. This is a story about my grandmother's father, Elmer Washington, who passed in 1944 in Louisiana. His family knew his wishes. His wishes were to never sell the land. In 1954, the land was leased out by many oil companies. At that point, my family knew we had lost our land. Please sign the petition that we're sending to you, because it's very, very, very important that this helps the people in the state of Louisiana regain their property from the rich oil companies taking it. Please sign the petition below. This is going to be sent to you in the first week of September. It's going to be sent out to you by a company called Where Is My Land? This is a first-generation company that's going across the United States of America, helping Americans regain their property from the government. Please join me in signing the petition for Where Is My Land? We will be sending it out to you. How by signing the petition can help you? Because it's going to generate generational wealth for our children. Generational wealth for our children to go to universities, to have better parks, better hospitals in the communities in Louisiana. We want to be able to have the same thing, the same rights as the big oil companies have generated to take into their states in Oklahoma and Texas. Please join me in signing the petition for Where's My Land, so we can create generational wealth for all of our children. Next, I want to tell you a story concerning how our land was lost. Our land was lost by a simple fact. It is generated on a form in Louisiana in the clerk's office, and it gives you the title and name of all the owners. What happens is the oil company sends in what is called a landman. The landman will go in and he will target people who are deceased or family that doesn't pay attention, and he will write out portions of their land and give it to the oil companies. The oil companies in return will take that, pump the oil on that said property, and sometimes they will not pay the owners. And if you try to fight them, is where we need you to sign the petition and join Where's Our Land. This is a problem. The court system allows them to do it. They've been pumping our property since 1954. That means they're generating wealth for their children for 70 years. My family is blessed and well off because we tend to stick to God commandments. We want you to join us in signing this petition from Where's Our Land, because it's going to help you and your children, because you piggyback off of what we're doing and you join us in the fight, in the crusade to get our land back from the large oil companies, so you can join us in the fight against oil companies taking your property. Thank you so much.
They even sued and won, but still have no compensation. The family has proven its claim on the land in court, yet they still battle with big oil for their compensation. Over 70 years of illegal drilling. The family moved out west due to fear for their survival, caused by intimidation tactics and state-supported racism. They hoped to find a safer and better life. Unfortunately, since no one was living on their land, big oil companies have taken advantage of the family. These companies have been profiting for the past 70 years from illegal drilling on their property. The family has been fighting to receive a fair share of the millions of dollars that have been made. However, the big oil companies keep changing operators, which makes the family's legal pursuits much more complicated. The companies do this in hopes that the family will eventually give up their claims. As a result, the family is trapped in a never-ending cycle of legal battles. Generational wealth lost. Moving to the West Coast presented its own challenges. While facing legal disputes regarding family property, descendants had to discover alternative ways to ensure a good quality of life for themselves and their children. Some family members relied on spirituality to guide them through these difficult times. However, even that path would eventually meet a tragic fate. Descendant Raquel Miller.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Raquel, Pretty Beast Miller here. And usually I'm here to talk to you guys about my boxing or maybe my nonprofit organization, or just to uplift you or encourage you in some type of way. But today I need your help, I need your support, I need your encouragement, because my family has teamed up with Where's My Land, because our family has been wronged for centuries and we are trying to have this wrong righted. In the 1900s, my great-grandparents purchased land in Lafayette, Louisiana, also known as Claiborne Parish, Louisiana, 722 acres of land to be exact. And that land, actually, they struck oil. So my family owns oil wells in this area. However, 668 acres of this land have been wrongfully taken and stolen from my family. And billionaire oil companies have been siphoning oil, have been pumping oil, have been taking all the minerals from this land, and have not paid my family pretty much pennies on the dollar compared to what my family is really entitled and owed. So we are asking all of my fans, all of my friends, all of my family to get behind us as we try to right this generational wrong. This is unfortunately the story of so many African American families in the United States that have been swindled, stolen, or just downright cheated out of their land from, the powers that be. So we are asking everyone to get behind us, sign this petition, because this is insane that in 2023, my family literally gets pennies on the dollars for oil wells that they own. So please get behind us. I will be dropping more videos with more information and more facts showing what has actually happened, what's been taken from my family, and what we're hoping to get back. We're hoping that the oil companies, that Louisiana does the right thing and rights this wrong and gives my family back our land, our resources, and actually pays us, because they're actually still paying my family from the amounts of the oil back in 1954 when they struck oil. So how outrageous is that? But situations like this make families unable to amass generational wealth, unable to, fight for certain dreams and goals because they're too busy in poverty. And unfortunately, that's not the case, because my great-grandparents tried to do the right thing only to have their land stolen from them. So please get behind me and my family, sign this petition, and follow us on our journey to get back our land. And if you're not familiar with Where's My Land, they are the amazing organization that got behind the Bruce family and the Bruce Beach family in Los Angeles area and got their land back. So we're hoping something similar can happen for my family. So join us, sign this petition, and listen to this wild story, because I'm going to share with you guys from top to bottom. Thank you.
In 2023, the Washington family continues to face a legal dispute as oil is extracted and taken from their land without receiving adequate compensation. This has been a lengthy struggle for the Washington family and their future generations for more than 70 years. Descendant Michael Ford Sr.
Hello, I am Michael J. Ford Sr. I was born in San Francisco, California in April 1951. I'm the grandson of Elmer Washington. Elmer had 3 daughters, Beatrice, Eula Lane, and Alice, from his marriage to Georgia Henderson, my grandmother. He also was married to Emily Ridley, of which 3 children were born: Aline, Carrie Lee, and Charlie Ray. My grandfather's interest in the land he inherited from his father was taken through deceit, lies, falsified quitclaims by his 2 nephews, Frank and Hobart Alexander, sons of his sister Mary Ann Washington. Frank and Hobart began to issue deeds, sign leases, and other conveyance instruments that reflected them holding both their mother, Mary Ann's 1/9 interest, and their uncle, Elmer Washington's 1/9 interest in the 720 acres of land, which passed down to the 9 children in equal shares by inheritance from their father, Frank Washington, upon his death in 1918. The 6 heirs of Elmer Washington, Beatrice, Eula, Alice, Aline, Carrie Lee, and Charlie Ray, notified the oil companies that those deeds, leases, and other conveyance instruments signed with Frank and Hobart Alexander were invalid, as Elmer Washington's 1/9 interest in the funds were being distributed to the wrong heirs. Those companies brought an action against Frank, Hobart, and Elmer's heirs, his 6 children, on September 17, 1965. The court issued a judgment in favor of the oil companies. A judgment was also rendered against Frank and Hobart in favor of the other 6 defendants, the heirs of Elmer Washington, restoring them to an undivided 1/9 interest in the 720 acres, in addition to an undivided 1/6 interest to the funds deposited with the court. The judgment was not properly filed with the courts and has been ignored by the oil companies and others as to leases signed prior to the decision, and continue to operate on leases contracts that are null and void. Growing up in San Francisco allowed me to become a person of diversity through exposure to many different cultures and their traditions. I also learned how expensive it was to live in a large urban city. My mom had to be frugal and creative with the family finances, and it wasn't out of the ordinary for me to proudly wear clothing and play with toys from secondhand stores. But I was always happy and grateful for my life as an adolescent and young man, because our family shared so many wonderful times and memories together, even though we didn't have lots of money. I often reflect on how different life would have been if our family would have been able to receive the benefits of my grandfather Almer's hard work, vision, and plan to leave a legacy of wealth and ownership in pursuit of his dream. I became hopeful and excited after learning of Where Is My Land helping the Bruce family receive justice of the Bruce's Beach eminent domain injustice done to their family in the 1920s in Manhattan Beach, California. Our family is excited about this journey with Where's My Land in helping us to return land and funds that the courts have already ruled in our favor. Our family would like to thank Where Is My Land's team for your services, support, and commitment in the restoration of lost land and creating the generational wealth our ancestors sought for their families and loved ones. Thank you. God bless.
A family in turmoil. The family is wondering, how is this still possible in the 21st century? Every time they discover who is responsible for the drilling, Big Oil undermines them by selling fake titles and drilling contracts to a different company. This forces the family to repeatedly initiate legal process all over again. Descendant Beverly Gardner.
Hello, my name is Beverly Gardner, and I'm on here to give you a little information about my family's history and why we're here. In the 1900s, my ancestors lived in Louisiana, Claiborne Parish. They acquired land, and at that time, they did what they needed to do to keep that land. Then they started passing away, after which people start coming in and taking the land. And when I say taking it, meaning that they either big oil wells came in and took part what they wanted and they started drilling, and then other companies came in and maybe they just wanted to cut down timber or whatever they wanted to do with the land, they took it and they did it. So years passed. My mom and my cousins' moms and uncles got older enough to say, okay, well, let's fight this and let's do something about it. So they decided to do something about it. They did, and they sued, and we won our case. Well, when we won our case, it took so long. Now they're older, and they never gave us back the land. We won the case, but we didn't get what was rightfully ours. So now, years have passed again, and now we're older. So now we're trying to do the same thing. So with the help of Where's My Land, we're going to try to accomplish getting our land back, and this time we're going all the way. So we're on here to give out the information because there are, I'm sure, people in California, wherever you live, that are going through the same things. And it's not fair. We are due what's rightfully ours. The people in Manhattan Beach won what that was theirs, and they got it back. So we all can get back what is rightfully ours. So we're on here to give out the information to let you know that we will be having petitions, like our page, help us accomplish what's needed to be accomplished by all families, brown, black, whatever your nationality. If it's yours, fight for it. Because it's unfair that big companies come in and take what's ours and we never get it back. Because without us, there would be no United States. Because when they brought us here, that's what we did. We helped it to be the United States. So, with that being said, keep praying, And if you think you are owed something, check it out. Check your history. Because I'm truly sure that we all have something that was taken from us, speaking of land, that is due us back. So, just a little note. Keep praying. Because when it's truly yours, nothing can stand in the way for you to get it back. Thank you. Bye-bye.
The family knows where their land is, and it sits on a well of natural resources. Yet they can't stop Big Oil from pilfering those resources because the legal system is designed to keep them at bay. Generations of family had at times financially struggled and passed over the years without ever seeing compensation or their family's property rights restored. Meanwhile, for over 70 years, the families of people who have no legal claim on the property have financially benefited, creating generational wealth for themselves. The Washington family will not give up until all parties involved return their land rights and compensate them for decades of stealing their natural resources. A call to order. The Washington family is asking for your help. Please sign our petition to regain our land rights. We thank you in advance.